Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Breakthrough Training. This week's training is going to be on converting leads at a massive level. And so it's going to be a really exciting training. We've got a lot of good information to share. So we're going to let this kind of go on for a few minutes and let people hop on before we get going. How's everybody going today? Let me see if I can figure out how to go between YouTube and Google Hangouts to actually be able to address everybody's comments. Everybody having a good week? Okay. All right. Oh, cool. We're live. I thought it's just a little bit delayed. Okay. Get started in just a couple more minutes. Is everybody having a great morning? Having a great week? Any good stuff to share? Sound coming through okay, everything? Oops. I want to do that. I want to just... Okay. Perfect. Yes, we can go and get started if you like.
All right.
Me and my Slurpee coffee. My daughter hates it. I drink so much coffee and she hates that I slurp. So, I think it's almost turned into a habit to annoy her a little bit now too. All right. Well, welcome everybody to today's training. This is what, are we on 3 weeks in a row that we've come back in 4 weeks? Yes, we are on track. Now, if there's any video skips or glitches, I apologize. My computer's acting really funny, and I wish I knew why. So sorry about that. But anywho, we got some awesome stuff to share today. Today's training is about the keys to converting leads. For most agents, I'd imagine we have a lot of leads. You know, whether it's your database, whether it's a farm, doing open houses, internet, we have leads. But are you converting them like you need to be or like you want to be, you know? And so that's going to be the main topic. Now, if anybody has any comments or anything, please, I got YouTube right up here. Love to have some community sharing. Have any questions, don't hesitate to chat. So in your opinion, I love that you're here. In your opinion, what are the keys? Like, if you're going to convert leads at the highest level possible, what are some of the things that you think just must be part of your process? Well, having a process, I imagine. Let's start there.
I would imagine probably building a relationship with the client, you know, building rapport, showing them that you're not just there for quote unquote their commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're there to actually help them find a brand new home that they're going to love. Maybe sell their home that they want to get into a new home that they want to love. You know, it's just kind of building that relationship.
So I think that could be summed up with, you know, building rapport. Yeah, building the relationship. One of my favorite sayings is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
Right. And if you are just that salesman, certain fields, I guess you're okay with being that salesman, but buying a house, man, people don't want to have any feeling of any salesman-y, pushy, shadiness. You can't come across shady at all, you know? And so building that relationship, helping people accomplish their goal. One of the things that you're going to find as you sell more and more homes is each person, when they close, has a different reaction. And getting in the habit of getting it on tape or recording. I'm old, sorry. Recording it. There you go. When they close, right? You have your first time buyer who nothing is better than a first time buyer, right? When they take the keys to their house, they are so excited, and it's such an amazing thing, right? And then you have people that have, let's say they have their house and they want to move up to the bigger house, and they might be having a kid or something like that. And when they get there and you're helping them look, and they actually find the house, for example, that they love, right? And they start picturing the kids, right? The rooms with the kids, and planning everything on that level. Like, oh, we could put the crib over here, you know, or can you imagine this will be like the play area and stuff? And when you see them picture themselves living in the home, right? And then they put the offer and get it accepted, and then they actually move in, right? Those are the ones that 3 months later, you go and visit them. The house is completely different. It is theirs. They have the kid stuff set up. It is just one of the most awesome things ever.
Yeah.
Right. And then you work your way through to like the empty nesters, for example. They're selling that big old house to move into their smaller house. And they go through a completely different experience buying homes. You know, mm-hmm. Each one of them is in a different complete phase. Yeah. Right. You have people that are relocating, and their need is different. Right. Okay. So let's say, for example, that's a great one to start with. You have somebody who's not local. Okay. Let's say here in Arizona, we do a lot of military. Right. I have one coming this month from, right now they're in Japan. And but he's temporarily in El Paso. So you have a wife over here, husband over here, going to be relocating in October here.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Okay. So what are some of the needs? What do you think to help build rapport? What are some things that they possibly need that we can offer and help?
What's like guidance? I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
Private guidance, guidance, maybe a little.
Perfect start. Perfect segue. Right? In my opinion, there's 3 keys. Okay. 3 keys to lead conversion. Right? I'll just go and convert. My writing's terrible. One thing, right? No matter where you're at, you have to have speed. Okay? And depending on which angle you're looking at it, what do you think about calling it just prompt service? Being there promptly. Mm-hmm. If they're inquiring about a house, how promptly can you get to them? If it's a brand new lead, how promptly are you going to get to them? If they want to see a home, can you get to them pretty quickly? You know, speed to lead, that makes it seem more like a commodity and it's just a thing, right? But these people need service. They're calling you. They just signed up for your website. They need service. How promptly can you provide that service to them? Right? So that's one. Number 2, and I always have a problem because I want to put these in order, like start here, then go here. But I always come back and forth between the next 2, right? So I'm going to run with consistency. Okay? That's going to be our second one. Because consistency is so important. And it won't matter what you put out there if you're not consistent with it. But so simultaneously, I think it does coincide with number 3. Providing value. Yeah. If you show up to the lead early, are there each and every time they need, and are providing value, they're yours. Yeah. You're going to have a great relationship, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. But it's not. It's so not. How many leads do you have right now? Okay, 100 plus. Yeah, if you add in your database, another a couple hundred. You know, legitimately, your average person easily has 400 leads.
Yeah.
Probably if you look at their whole database that they could go to, right? 400 leads. Let's take the average of worst case scenario, average, okay, of internet leads, which are like the lowest conversion you could have on average, right? It's about 2%, between 2 and 3. So if an average person has 400 people in their database using the lowest amount of conversion, 2%, how many sales should just about every single agent have out there per year? Yeah. That's double what the average agent does.
Yeah.
And we already know based on stats that half the agents don't sell anything. And only like this many sell over 25.
Yeah.
Right? So why is it then? We all know these people. Why aren't we converting them? Chances are it boils down to where are we dropping the ball here? It's either going to be speed to lead, you lost them to somebody else, you're not staying in front of them often enough, they forgot about you, or you're not providing them value. They don't see any value in your services. So if you can meet all three of these needs, you got them. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So first off, speed to lead, okay? It really is going to depend on where you're getting that lead from, right? If it's a open house lead, speed to lead takes on a whole different thing. If it's a database lead, like your Sphere, that takes on a different attitude there. But typically speaking, when you're talking speed to lead, it is as soon as you get it, especially with internet leads, right? Do you remember what we talked about when it comes to the difference between the 5-minute mark and then the 2-minute mark and the 1-minute mark when you get a new lead? The difference between making contact, if you get a new lead, let's say you get a brand new internet lead, right, that came to the website or gave you their information or a realtor.com, whatever it might be, right? If you call them in 5 minutes, what's the likelihood of getting a hold of them, making contact, etc.?
If they just submitted the lead, probably pretty high, but it could also be pretty slim. That's why you got to contact them.
It depends on the website. How long are they staying on your website?
Yeah.
Right? How many, if they're only staying on your website for about 2 minutes, how many other websites could they have possibly gone to in just 5 minutes? If you're staying on if they're staying on for 5 minutes, you might still catch them while they're on your computer, maybe, right? Yeah. So that's the general rule, within 5 minutes, no matter what, right? If you get a new lead, you call them no matter what within 5 minutes. Okay, speed to lead. But on the flip side, if you could call them within 1 or 2 minutes,
that would show initiative.
Wonderful. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah, you're showing initiative, which rubs them the right way. Yeah. Obviously, this is a good agent.
You know, obviously, that if you're calling them within 1 or 2 minutes, it shows that you're consistent, that you are going to keep up with them, follow up with them, and anytime that a property does come available, you're going to be there.
Yeah. And where are they? Are they probably still on your website? Yeah. Maybe still looking at that property, perhaps?
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you for coming to my website. I see you're looking at the home on 123 Bird Street. That's a fantastic home. They're like, yeah, I'm still looking at it right now. Yeah, that's fantastic. Do you have any questions? I'd love to show it to you. Are you available? What? You know, it catches them off guard. Yeah. And it's a wonderful thing. And that one of the scripts that you can use for if somebody actually does inquire about a home and you get back to them right away, it's one of the easiest conversions ever. It's like one of the highest percentages to get appointments, right? But on the flip side, you have just people looking. Is there anything bad if somebody is truly motivated? Okay? Not everybody's truly motivated, and we can't expect people to be, and that's why we're not emotionally attached to any one particular lead. And, you know, it's not us personally. So, that being said, is there anything bad to happen from calling every single lead you get right off the bat? You pleasantly surprise them. People who aren't motivated will be like, no, I'm not looking, whatever. But, you know, we have scripts for all that stuff, right? So, literally, you're going to find out the bad ones aren't motivated. You're going to weed out the bad information within a minute, and you're going to pleasantly surprise any of the positive people that are truly looking.
Yeah.
Sounds like a win-win-win to me, straight across the board.
Yeah.
Right? So speed to lead. Wonderful. Now, when you're busy, when you're in the middle of an appointment, obviously we get tied up, right? We can't call everybody right away. But if you look at the cost of benefit ratio, okay, using that $1 million conversion thing, right? Let's say you buy that lottery ticket that's 1 in a million chance of winning $1 million. 1 in a million of winning $1 million. So the statistics are in your favor. If you buy 1 million tickets, you could potentially win $1 million. Okay? If you're that 1 in a million, you made that great investment. That was a smoking good deal. You invested $1 and you got $1 million. Okay? Would you buy, let's say, 100,000 tickets?
To get the $1 million?
Would you spend $100,000 on tickets for a 1 in a million chance of winning $1 million? Each ticket costs $1. You buy 100,000 tickets. Would you risk it?
I think it's 100,000 yeah, right?
Well, each
or
one of them.
100,000.
1 in a million, still per one, but yeah. But you're still not guaranteed by any means. That's like 1 in 10.
Yeah.
1 in 10 chance at that point, basically. Even though it's not really, but that's kind of what it boils down to. Are those great odds? I wouldn't want a surgery where I had a 10% chance of survival.
Yeah.
You know, you have a 1 in 100,000 chance now. It's like, okay, you know? Okay, so let's reverse it. Let's change those odds by 1,000. Okay, would you spend $1,000 to win $1 million? I would risk it.
Yeah.
That's decent, right? Okay, would you buy, I mean, how many times would you even potentially buy 2,000 tickets? Because that's even still probably maybe worthwhile. The 1 in 1,000 chance of winning $1 million. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You just took a 1 in a million down to 1 in 1,000. Okay, so in our livelihood, put that to if you're 50% chance of catching them while they're still at their computer, and that directly correlates to making a conversation and having a very, very, very good chance of making a sale.
Yeah.
Is it worth trying to cut it down to that 2 minutes or 1 minute to truly catch them on the computer? Heck yeah. Every which way. Is it potentially worth pulling your car over to the side of the road to make that call really quick? Absolutely. Is it potentially worth, within reason, stepping out of a meeting or stepping out of a movie or whatever it might be? Potentially.
Yeah.
Okay. What's our average commission check right here in the Valley?
Okay.
Well, on a $200,000 house. Right now it's even higher because our average home's $250,000, and so that actually equates to a $7,500 gross check. So take your split from there, right? $7,500, right? That's pretty good. Is it worth making that phone call for $7,500?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially, absolutely, right? So, how fast? We got why, right? We know why. Obviously, our paycheck, our livelihood, the rapport. There's lots of reasons why we should call them, okay? But I think a lot of people are scared because they don't necessarily know what to say either, right? It depends on the lead. So let's run through some good stuff here really fast. Let's say you have an internet lead. Good morning, Helen. Let's say you have an internet lead, okay? And let's break it down between the several different types of internet leads, for example. I'm only starting there because that's where the majority of us are getting our leads, right? They're either popping onto your website looking for homes, or they're popping on and they've seen a home they liked and they inquired about that particular home, okay? So let's run through, where are they at? Okay, so let's start off with the person who came to your website, hasn't necessarily seen anything they liked in particular, like, ooh, give me more information about 123 Bird Street. It's like, okay, I want to look at homes $250,000 or under in Surprise. So they're looking at 3 or 4 homes. Okay. What are some baselines that can help you right off the bat with the first conversation?
Like, I saw that you're looking at some homes over in the Surprise area. Are there any other locations or, areas that you can fit into? Or
okay. That's one good angle. Absolutely. That's a good way to start. You always want to start off asking questions.
Yeah.
That's the best way to start, right? First off, make sure you're positive and happy.
Yeah.
If you're having a bad day, hey, this is Josh Ezell. Thank you for using my website. You know, it's like, hey, this is Josh Ezell. Thank you so much for using our website. You know, we really pride ourselves on having a great one. So how's everything going? You know, whatever your segue is to get, hey, how's it going? Hi, how's your day? You know, get them going, right? When you call, do you say, hi, is Helen Nowitzki there? Or do you say, hey, is Helen there? You know, what is your intro? Like, break it down. Seriously, let's get into this. Every little bit seriously stacks the deck, or it might take away just a little bit. And you want to stack that deck, like, boom, 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 as much as possible. So let's break it down. Let's say I'm your new lead. So just pretend you're calling me for the first thing, and I'm that lead in surprise.
I would take a phone call. I would be like, depending on good afternoon, this is Jacob from Breakthrough Real Estate. I saw that you were inquiring about some properties over the Surprise area. I was, seeing that you were staying in the range under the 250,000 range. I was wondering if you would like to go see those homes that you were inquiring about. Maybe these aren't the right homes. Maybe I can do, some research for you to find some perfect homes for you. I always get like.
See, without having a spiel planned, we tend to run on and kind of ramble a little bit. We may go back and forth just a hair, and that's why it's good. Have a spiel ready, right? And that's what we're going to create. Okay. So first off, let's break it down. Just the first one, right? Do you think it's better to say, "Hey, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate," and immediately go right into it, or because, for example, there's different methods, right? Are you going to go the casual, relaxed route? Are you going to use a script? Or are you going to kind of merge several different things? So, for example, one of my things is just, hey, is Helen there? Yeah. Just assume it is. Hey, is Helen there? Or hey, is this Helen? And they're like, this is her. Hey, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. How's it going today? Okay. That's my standard spiel for just about everybody. Hi, is Helen there? They don't know who I am or anything like that. And typically they're like, oh, this is her or whatever, right? And then you just build rapport. I love asking, how's your day? It kind of stops people in general. And more often than not, they're pleasantly surprised that you actually asked them. And if you stop and let them answer, they're like, oh, I'm having a pretty good day. How are you? It immediately, in my experience, and please give feedback, guys, if it's a wall breaker. It helps tear down a wall in front, right? And oftentimes they're like, oh, what can I do for you? Or what's up? And they give you that next segue, right? So that's the personal breakdown, right? So try yours really quick. Try it again. See if it changes or adapts to something a little more comfortable. Practice makes perfect, right?
Good afternoon. Is Josh available?
Oh, this is him.
Hi, my name is Jacob Zickmanis from the Breakthrough Real Estate. I'm calling you today. Oh no, I forgot this. How are you?
Yeah, there's nothing. See, but you're going to develop what's comfortable for you. Right? Your first 20 calls are going to sound nothing like your 50 to 100th call, which is going to sound nothing like your 1000th call, right? It's going to constantly adapt, and you're going to find what works for you. Some people might find more formal. Some people are less enthusiastic. Some people prefer having the script right in front of them. Hi, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. Thank you very much for using my website. So I see you're looking at 123 Birch Tree, and you just find what works, right? Yeah. Okay. So thank you for popping on our website. Appreciate it. Hitting them right where they're at. Okay. And finding that rapport. Okay. So let's say that we're looking at Surprise, right? I would more target, use everything you have right there in front of you, right? So number one, thank you for using our website, right? I always like, if it's your personal website, set it aside. Thank you for using it. Everybody uses Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. If they're using your personal website, guess what? You just called them. Yeah. You're not some random realtor. You're not some person from Realtor or Zillow that they have no clue. You're thanking them for something personal to you. If it's a Realtor.com lead or a Zillow lead, you're handling a property, which we're going to jump into here in particular in a few minutes. But if they're just searching, it's one of the weirdest ones because you're struggling trying to find anything, right? So we know they're looking in Surprise. So their price range. They might have looked at 3 or 4 homes. Are they 1-story or 2-story? Do they have a pool? Are you seeing a theme? 2,000 square feet to 2,400 square feet. Are they all 4 bedrooms? That's a definite tip off right there. That's probably,
what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. If they're looking at 2 bedrooms, it's like, oh, okay, well, they're probably, looking at this particular over here. There's a big difference between a 4 bedroom and a 2 or 3 bedroom, needs. A lot of snowbirds want pools. So there's a lot of things that you try to find the common stuff, and then you pull those from. All right. So, hey, hi, is Jacob there? Hey, Jacob, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. How's it going today?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. You just popped on my website, breakthroughrealestateaz.com, and I just wanted to thank you so much for using our website. It means a lot. There's a lot of them out there, so we pride ourselves on having one of the best ones. So how's everything going? Is your search going okay?
Yeah, it's going great. I saw some homes over in the Surprise area. Just looking for, just go up what you said, 4 bedroom, maybe over in the 250,000 range.
Perfect.
I saw a couple of them on your website.
Yeah, I see you're looking at that home on 123 Bird Street. That seems to be like it seems to be a 4 bedroom, 2,200 square feet. What was it about that home that really kind of jumped out at you?
That it was a 4 bedroom with 2,200 square foot. The other ones were, just shy of 2,000. Having that 2 in front of the zeros is going to be good for the square footage.
Absolutely. So, are you guys looking to be in your home right away? When do you need to be in your new home?
We're very flexible, but trying to get out of the place that we're currently in as soon as possible.
Oh, okay. So, are you needing to sell, or are you currently on a lease?
That's on a lease.
Okay, currently on a lease. So, is it going to be? Are you able to break that lease? Is your lease coming up pretty quickly?
Lease is coming up at the end of the year.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so by the end of the year, right? So you're picking up on stuff, right? We just had to find a starting point and try to get them talking.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to figure stuff out. And if we have a good baseline to go off of, right? What is today, for example? It's September, right? September, October, November, December, right? Sometime between the end of the year. Your average person starts looking online 3 to 6 months before they need to move.
Yeah.
So your average stuff, right? If that's your average person, if they inquire about a home in particular and want to see it, what's a good tip off on that one? Yeah, that they might have urgent needs, that they're going to move sooner, right? If they're just browsing around and stuff, chances are they might be that prolonged part. So these are little tip-offs. Depending on what they're doing, you can automatically kind of assume to start asking the right questions to start building that rapport. Now, I love this because almost everybody starts off the same way. And so when you make that first call, it's so imperative. All right? So let's try it again, but this time say, we're just browsing. Okay. So, ring.
Yep.
Hey, is this Jacob?
Yeah, this is him.
Hey, Jacob, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. How's it going today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you so much for asking. Hey, I see you popped on my website. I really, really appreciate it. You were looking at that home on 123 Bird Street. That's a gorgeous home. I was wondering, what did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was a beautiful home, but unfortunately at the moment I'm just kind of browsing around, not to the point where I'm gonna, get into a home, but yeah, just browsing.
Oh, you're just browsing. That's perfect. That's fantastic. Hey, did you know your average person starts looking online like 3 to 6 months beforehand?
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. So no pressure, man. No pressure. I'm here for you whenever you need. But I really, really appreciate you popping on my website. So, do you guys have like a generic hope or timeline that you really are kind of looking for, hopefully, in a perfect world?
At the moment, we're not too sure. Like I said, we're just kind of looking around because we don't have a really established timeline yet. Okay,
perfect. Well, since you haven't established a timeline left, it's great that you're really starting ahead. Have you guys spoken to a lender yet by chance?
No, we haven't.
Oh, you haven't? A lot of people don't realize that credit weird stuff is one of the hardest things that people have to jump through when buying a home. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, you would be shocked at how many people get surprised at what might be on their credit. So believe it or not, 6 months in advance or so is a perfect time to actually speak to a lender, just in case. You might call them and find out everything's perfect, which is wonderful. But you'd be surprised how many people find stuff out. So if you really are looking 6 months in advance, it wouldn't hurt to actually go ahead and just run something by a lender just to make sure you're good and create the right plan. So would you mind? I'm going to go ahead and shoot over my go-to lender's phone number if you don't mind. No pressure. Call them if you want, but it's a good head start if you guys want.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I mean, I don't have a lender or know where to get a lender from, so I'm going to ask for your advice for a lender.
Perfect. Well, see, it was a good sign you used my website then, huh? I'm so glad we're talking. Great. So, okay, so you're looking in Surprise then?
Yeah. Maybe not necessarily just Surprise area, just kind of looking around. I saw that, that house was pretty nice, but I'm very flexible to Arizona area.
Arizona area. Okay. So do you guys have any particular needs? Like, where do you work, for example?
I might work at home, so
Oh, you work from home.
I don't really need to be traveling everywhere.
That's a nice luxury. Is there anybody else, significant other or anything like that, that's going to be living with you that might have a preference on any particular area? The valley's huge. A lot of people don't realize how big it is. It could take well over an hour to get from one side of the valley to the other, believe it or not.
That is true. That is true. The spouse does work at an office building over in the west side, so maybe the west side would be probably better.
Okay, great. You know what? Perfect. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send you some information on the West Valley.
Okay.
All right, that way you can kind of familiarize yourself. And I'm going to go ahead and send you the buyer's advisory too. Now, the buyer's advisory sounds scary, but believe it or not, it is there for you to protect you so you can know everything about any area here in the valley. All right, there's a bunch of links in it. I mean, from HOA, taxes, to flight zones, to crimes. I mean, you name it, it's probably in there, okay? So I'm going to send that over. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm here for you no matter what. If you guys find the right home tomorrow, I won't argue. But even if it takes a year, I'm still going to be in business, and I'm here for you guys no matter what. So this is my cell phone, so keep it handy, okay? I'm kind of cutting it off, whatever, just, to kind of show you how I wrap it up.
Yeah.
But you never want to be the first one to get off the phone, okay? Let them hang up first, right? But notice how I just kept offering more value, more value, more value, more value until I felt we had a conversation going.
Yeah.
Right? And you always meet them. Okay, so there's a lot of little subtle things in there. Always repeat and reaffirm. That's fantastic. Hey, I hate you and I'm never going to buy a home. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Like that's the response. All right. Now, what makes you feel that way? But we repeat and then just rephrase it back, right? To find out more. When it comes to building rapport, what we say and what we do is so key, right? You never want to be negative on the phone. Optimism is key. Even if they say they're never going to buy a home, pretend they're lying. They will,
Yeah.
Right? Optimism is key. If you're calling people and you don't think they're going to buy a home, guess what? You're right. If you think these leads are crap, guess what? You're right. If you think every single person that's going to be calling or that you're calling may be the right one, guess what? You're right. If you think this next person, if you think you're going to get 2 appointments today and you call enough people thinking that you're going to get 2 appointments today, you're going to get 2 appointments today.
Yeah.
If you call thinking, I'm just going to check in with my people, you probably will only call and check in with people. What is your intent? And if you're that fixated, when a basketball player gets in front of a free throw line, what are they picturing?
Ball going in the hoop.
Every single time. Mm-hmm. They never throw it until they visualize and see it going through that hoop. Tiger Woods, when he was at the peak of his game, he would make more putts, but you would see him. How long would he sit there visualizing that putt? Until he needed it, as long as he needed to. You visualize what you want and what you want from each of these. And it doesn't have to be 10 minutes before every single phone call, but is it probably worth 10 or 15 minutes to focus, practice before you actually get going to get in that right frame of mind? Are you calling people from an open house last week? What is your goal with these people? Are you calling internet leads? Are you calling past clients? What is the goal that you have? And make sure you establish that goal, right? To take another golf reference, if you're standing up at the tee and you see this wide open range and you just smack the crap out of a ball, where could that go? In umpteen number of places. But on the flip side, if you're focusing and you just visualize the right swing and you nail the spot to like a little box, are you probably going to hit it way closer to that box?
Yeah.
We're not professionals, so if you hit that box, wonderful. But if you can get it in the fairway, you're more likely, right? That is the key. So make sure you know what you're doing up front. So what to say and what you're trying to do, right? Don't ever call to check in. I mean, you can. People that just bought their house, but I would hope you'd still have something else that you're trying to accomplish with that.
Yeah.
Even checking in is rapport and staying in front of them, but then I'd hope you have some question involved that has something. Yeah. Okay. So the value, specifically up front, when they come to your website that first time, you're just trying to find out what they need. So let's come back to the other person who did find a home. Okay, that's one of the easiest scripts ever. Hey, I like 123 Birch Street. So you call up the person, boom, boom, right? One of the simplest, easiest scripts. Hey, this is Josh Ezell. Or actually, sorry. Hey, is this Jacob?
Yep.
Hey, Jacob, it's Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. How's it going?
Good.
Doing fantastic. Hey, you just inquired about 123 Bird Street. Dude, that is a gorgeous home. Are you by chance free today or like tomorrow morning to go take a look by chance?
Definitely.
There you go. That's the script. Anybody that inquires about a property, there's your script. Okay. And then from there, go into the next one. Okay. Oh, no, man, we're just looking. Oh, that's fantastic. You're just looking. So when are you looking to be in your new home buy? You know, you just take it from there. Right. But anytime there's a property they like, start there.
Okay.
Okay. And then if they say, oh, no, we're just looking. Oh, that's great. So what was about that home that made you inquire in that case? You know, lots and lots of questions, but always start off with what?
It's quote unquote name there.
Okay. And then immediately jump right into, keep going.
My name is Jacob Sigmanis from Breakthrough Real Estate. Saw that you inquired about this property. Nope.
Nope. Just tell them, literally, this is a very this is one conversation get so comfortable with. The more casual and comfortable you are, and the more like, hey, that is a gorgeous home. Are you by chance free today, like around 5 or tomorrow morning to go take a look at it?
Yeah.
And then shut up and just let them respond. I don't want to put a number on it, but I'm willing to wager maybe 1 out of 3, 1 out of 5 would say, you know what? Yeah, let's go take a look. I'm free like this weekend or tonight or tomorrow. Boom. Right? What is the benefit of getting that appointment? Let's say you're not going to show them 12 homes. You don't care if they're pre-qualified at this moment.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not going to drive 3 hours to go show one home either. Okay. So there's some parameters you want to keep it within. But I mean, unless it's like, you know, make it worth your while, obviously. What is the benefit of that?
Face-to-face action.
All right.
Being able to build that relationship in person.
Absolutely. How many people go with the first person they see? Most of them, exactly. 4 out of 5 go with the first agent they see, which is also the benefit of the open house, getting that face-to-face meeting. And if you follow up with them, they're yours.
Yeah.
Right? But that is such a simple script. Get in such a habit of it. And you could run ads for all of our listings, just solds, whatever. I mean, so many things. These homes with pools. I mean, via our CRMs, via our platforms, you could be sending out stuff on a regular basis to try to get inquiries. It's one of the best things in the world, right? So if you get a property inquiry, what to say, simple script, go from there. Less is more. What is it, 3 sentences?
Yeah, literally.
Okay. So now let's come back to the other one. Okay. So they're the other hard part. All right. You don't know. They might have filled out our questionnaire. They're like 6 to 12 months out. They've looked at homes in 4 different cities, ranging from $50 to $2 million. And it's like, okay, I'm going to call Mrs. Smith right now. That's one of the funnest calls because you don't have literally anything to go on. You know, they are so broad, so vague. They might have looked at 200 homes or none. They just popped on the website and literally pulled up a search that says homes in Maricopa County. You know, who knows, right? So what do you call and what do you say for those people?
Probably, let's see. First of all, you got to ask the question of what their ideal home is, and figure out where you can start building that. You know, your questions. You know, where they want to go, what area, what they're in. You know, when they want to move, how long they're gonna, take to,
But narrow it down. Those were all wonderful. But are you going to say every one of those up front? That's the key. Okay. See, we get overwhelmed with knowing so much, but what is the right one at that moment? And get in the habit of creating that one, right? You know their journey, right? Your average journey is what we keep talking about, 3 to 6 months out, blah, 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 right? So you're just trying to build that rapport. That's why we have to call 6, 8, 10, 12 times to build that rapport. It may take 5 calls up front just to get them to answer your call.
Yeah.
They may think you're the most annoying person in the world and I'm not going to talk to you till I'm ready. And that is most people. They're not going to talk to you till they're ready. They think it's a waste of time, which is why we are there providing stuff, because we will prove to them it's not a waste of time to take my call, right? It's that whole thing, right? Up front, I don't need you. Stop it. You know, I'm not going to answer. Next one, dang it, that realtor keeps calling me. Next one, I hate this realtor. They're not leaving me alone. Right? Next week comes around. Man, this realtor is not leaving me alone. All right, fine. Hey, you've bugged the crap out of me. Yes, I'm going to use you because you bugged the crap out of me. You broke down my wall, and I finally like you and appreciate you again. Yes. That's a progression for so many, right? Get comfortable with it. Getting them annoyed with you because you're showing value is part of the process over time. But that's part of their no response. They're literally just going to not respond until one day, boom, they responded. And that's how we know. 3 to 6 months out. It's not uncommon for people to not respond for 3 to 6 months. My longest time, and at this point in time, I forgot the specific dates, but it was like 1,300 in either like 42 days or 72 days. This woman had been coming to our website regularly, never responded to one message, never answered one call, and I think this was kind of before text messaging really took off. So out of nowhere, one day she finally just called me. I wish I had a screenshot of that system because it's now with my last brokerage, but I can't even tell you how many calls, how many emails. It was well into the hundreds by far. On I think I had called her at least 60 some odd times, and I had sent her well over 100 emails. Yeah, and not one response. But you'd see she came onto the website, so it's like, well, she's coming on. I'm gonna keep following up, and she called me, and they were in town. They were literally in town, and they called me.
Were you able to sell to them?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. I ended up selling him a house over in Sun City West.
Nice.
So that was great. That's West, yeah. And that was in the fall too. I think that, I mean, not that price has much to do with it, but it was 2 years of follow up. Well, no, that's 3 years. 3, 6, 9, 12. Holy cow! So that was almost 4 years of follow up. Dang. Okay, 4 years of follow up, and yeah, they bought it was less than $200,000 house, but still, she's actually stayed in touch too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure since you followed up with her for 4 years, she got her other friends, family, people she knows.
Yep.
Coming to you.
Yep. Yeah. And she still pops on our website. She's followed us through. So yeah. But I don't have that screenshot anymore. That's sad. But you don't know. And that is the thing to remember. People will not call you back or respond until they need you.
Yeah.
Flat out. No news is literally just that. It's no news. We can't put anything into each other. We can't put nothing. It's just no news is no news. They will call when they need you, and just be there when they need you. And that's the follow-up part. So next, so you talk to them, thank them for using the website. You've kind of found a baseline, right? So the next part of what we're going to do is set them up with a portal.
Yeah.
The moment you know what they're looking for, pop into the MLS and find something fitting their criteria. It might be a couple different searches that you need to set them up with. It might be one in their price range, one that's actually their perfect home. One could be a couple different varieties of different things, right? So set them up with whatever they need. Even if you don't have a specific thing, guess. Set them up with something, because if they go on every other realtor, what are they going to get? Auto updates from Realtor, Zillow, Trulia, right? If they come to our website, they're going to get updated with your picture, your info, right? You're going to stay in front of them all the time. But the portal, you can go if you need.
I can grab the text for them really quick.
Okay. So the portal will actually stay in front of them. But what's the beauty of the portal? It's that it keeps everybody up to date directly from the MLS. Well, where does every other website get their information from? The MLS. So it's actually literally the most up-to-date website. They will stay up to date with your picture, your info from both our website and the MLS. And then one of the best things you can do once you do that is to let them know, to show them the value, that it is the most accurate. You know, we realtors, we have to stay very particular about what we put in the MLS, the timelines we put in, the information. It's highly regulated. What's the problem with every other website out there? They don't. You can put in any information. They can change it by hand. As we all know, you have UCB and CCBS. They show up as active on every other website, right? Well, which means what? About a quarter of every home that people see out there is probably not active. So you tell them our website is great. It's one of the best. You have the MLS and the portal, which is amazing, right? But then you tell them, feel free, keep looking on those other websites, but be wary of these things, And the moment you see anything you like, come back to me and I'll look up the information. I'll get it back to you. And always, always remember, light a fire. The market is hot here in Phoenix, for example, for the last few years. It's been incredibly hot, right? So what's in their best interest? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, the moment you see anything you like, send me that information immediately. I'll look it up and let's go out there and take a look today. The early bird gets the worm, whatever you want to say. Light that fire. It's not uncommon for homes to sell for at or above asking price in many markets. So is there a benefit to seeing it today and being one of the first people out there with a good offer? Absolutely. The home you see today, could it very well be gone tomorrow? Absolutely. Right? So you light that fire. Anything, feel free. Please utilize our website, check your portal, rely on the auto updates. But if you do happen to see anything else, make sure you email me, text me, call me with the information. I'll look it up, send you that information ASAP, let you know if it's active, if there's any offers, whatever. And then are you free to go take a look at it? Every single time you do that, you follow it up with that appointment. Are you free to take a look at it? Can we take a look at it today? Because you never want. That's one of the worst feelings. I'm sure many of you have had it where you had a client who, let's say you've been looking for 2 months, right? You've looked at so many homes. They finally fell in love with the right home. And then they had to think about it for a day or two. And then they finally pulled the trigger and the home wasn't available anymore. Or there were a bunch of offers at that time. That is the worst. I mean, when I'm helping a client and they have found the home that they love, for me, that's the most stressful part. I don't want anything to happen between now and then. And what is the best and only way to protect them? Get that offer in ASAP and start communicating with that other agent and building that rapport and becoming best friends with them to get in with, to give your clients the best shot. So you never want to deny your clients. That's one of the biggest reasons they go to other websites. They think that they're missing out. If they're stuck in this little portal over here, they're going to miss everything over here. We know why it's not showing up, because they want a three bedroom, 2 bath that's over 200 square feet. This one has 1,900 square feet. That's why it didn't show up. Or this one is CCBS. And your portal, I eliminated all of those so that way you're not seeing things that aren't available. We know why it might not, but that's why we definitely give them permission. Feel free to look at those other websites, but text me, call me the moment you see anything you like. I'll look it up and let you know. And more often than not, you're going to find that it probably is CCBS or UCB, right? But what's your prime? What do you do right after that? You know what they were looking for. They just sent you something they liked. Send them a portal of everything similar that's active and see if they want to see any of those, right? You don't just say, no, that's not active and leave it alone. You give them alternatives. It's never a closed door. Yeah, this one might shut, but look, hey, I'm opening this one over here. What do you think about those? Right? So you always follow up. And again, is that more value? Yes. Is that another contact? Is another, hey, you call them the next day. When you send them an email, is it not uncommon to say, hey, I sent you that list of homes yesterday. I want to make sure you got it. Did you have any feedback or thoughts? Prime phone call, right? You gave them value. Now you're checking in on that value. What's the likelihood of them answering that phone call? Yeah, we got the email. Hey, yeah, we haven't looked at it, or we like these homes, or those homes sucked. Send me different ones. Yeah. Whatever it might be, there's no bad answer. Yeah. Right? Okay. So the first one, we set them up with the portal. We try to find out what they're looking for. We try to get any bit of information. Notate. Everything you find out, from what they're looking for, to the family, to the names, to the pets, to the timelines, to everything, the city they're coming from. Write it all down, knowing you have hundreds of leads and you're going to be following up with a bunch of them on a regular basis. Don't rely on your memory. You cannot rely on your memory. Have it all right there. Boom, 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 boom. That's why we have the systems we do, right? So came in the first day, right? Now let's stick with the internet leads, because that's kind of what we're rolling with. You call them the first day within a minute. Now, if you got a hold of them, wonderful. Okay. You're going to have to pick and choose the next time to follow up with them. I would find reasons to follow up with them next. Setting up with the portal. Did they get it? the following week or whatever. Hey, I'm going to send you the buyer's advisory. Whatever it is that you're trying to do because you made contact and you're going to take them on whatever journey they are. If their journey is 60 days from now, that's that journey. If their journey is 3 months from now, that's that journey. If they're looking in a year, that's a different journey. So you're going to have to pick and choose how that is, but have a method for it. We know we never go quarterly, no more than quarterly without getting a call from us, right? If they say a year, you call them easily within 6 months. So if they say 3 months, you call them within a month and a half. If they say 6 months, you call them 3. You never go more than quarterly without calling them, right? You never go monthly without getting an email or text in general, no matter what. You set them up with the portal automatically, right? So they're getting constant updates from the website from this. So that you automatically stacked it many ways, right? But let's say you didn't. Half the battle is trying to make that first contact.
Yeah.
So that's where having your system in place for the leads too, because to convert at a massive level, you've got to call more than 2 or 3 times. Mandatory. Your average agent only calls 2 or 3 times. That's why the average agent only converts at a very small level, because that's the statistics. Those are the numbers, right? So what's your plan the first week? You get a brand new lead, okay, to make contact. The whole point is to get that conversation, okay? So what are you going to do up until, let's say, the first 3 months? What is your plan trying to get conversation?
Call them at least 6 times in the first week, emailing them.
Break that down first.
Okay.
And we're only worried about calls for right now. So the first week, how are you breaking down those calls?
Well, if it comes in on an internet lead and they are, interested in a certain property, you're towards that property to see if they want to go see it.
Okay, but let's go more generic. So you got the lead.
Okay.
You called when?
As soon as you get it. Perfect.
So you called within 5 minutes, within 1 minute, ideally, right? So that's call number 1. Perfect. All right. Darn it, they didn't answer. When's your next call? And let's just make it nice and easy. So let's say we got the call right at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. Okay. So, we woke up to a brand new lead. Perfect. Okay. So we called 8 o'clock, 1 minute, boom, didn't answer. Darn it.
Lunchtime?
Wouldn't hurt? Yeah. Afternoon, basically. Okay. So.
And then probably dinner time.
If you could, that would be great. 3 times that first day if they were a new lead first thing in the morning, absolutely.
And then first day you're getting 3 calls in there, then you can scatter the 3 rest of the calls.
Okay. Yep.
The second day probably leave them alone. Let's just say it's like a Monday. So Monday you call them 3 times, and then Tuesday maybe send an email or a text.
Well, you're going to do them all the first. An actual contact on a new lead should actually equate to all 3.
Okay.
Right. So the autoresponder text message, for example, that we have, it should be set up so every new lead you get automatically gets texted from you, and then you can follow that up with like a property thing or something like that. Right. The email, hopefully, again, autoresponder, because that's what you want to do. You don't want to waste your time, but that equals 1 contact. Okay. So you don't want to alternate. That first day, they need to receive the same amount, 3 emails, 3 texts, whatever it might be, right off the bat. And then supplement it too with each of them. So when we say contact, I'm only concerned about phone calls because they're the most powerful contact. People respond to text messages way more than emails. So text messages are very important too right off the bat, but you still need to have a conversation with somebody. Eventually you're going to have to make that appointment, get face to face. And at that point in time, sometimes there's going to be phone calls. Text messages are more and more common, but you know what I mean? So that being said, you're going to call email the first right off the bat, right? Yeah. So it's part of it. Now, I see where you're coming from, and this is where I love the debates, because there's one train of thought. There's so many different ways of converting leads, right? You have the 10-day straight, where somebody will call at least once or twice, 10 days straight right in a row, and then if they don't answer by that 10th day, they put them in their monthly follow-up. Okay. You have another thing called the 444. Which is 4 calls a day, 4 days straight. I mean, not 4 calls a day. At least 1 call a day for 4 days straight. At least 1 call a week for 4 weeks straight. And then at least 1 call a month. I changed it to forever after that, right? So that's the 444. Now, we do a variation kind of combining it based on numbers. We know statistically speaking, 80% of contact is made after the 6th call. So we know that anything before that 6th call is just a bonus. But if we get to that 6th call, we have an 80% chance of making contact. And how do we know what to do? Because if we call in the morning, we call in the afternoon, we call at night, we call on the weekend, we call at different times throughout the different period to see when they are available. And then by that 12th phone call, it obviously, we went through that realm. Man, this agent's annoying. They're not giving up. Oh man, I wish okay, we respect them now, and it takes them through that whole journey, right? So that's the 12 call method. 80% of sales happen by and after the 12th call, right? So those are 3 different methods. Is one better than the other? Is one wrong? Can't say. You have to find what works for you, right? The 444 has 4 days straight. I know some people that will pound them the first day, pound them the second day, leave them the third day, and take a day off. But over that first week, they're still calling them like 8 times. That's not wrong.
No.
What's wrong is the average agent who only calls 3 times total.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're not comfortable calling the second day, but if you did call them 3 times that first day, I can't fault you for that. You called 3 times that first day. So if you want to take that second day off because you're like, man, I think this is a little too much, but then you call the following day, that's still 4 calls in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, So that's absolutely right. Right? But here's why do you think most agents don't make 3 calls in one day? And I'm willing to wager it comes to, what do I say?
Motivation and just the actual effort.
Right? So how about this? Okay, you're not answering. I'm just going to leave a message, right? Like, boom, ring, 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 whatever. Doesn't answer. Son of a beehive. Darn it. Hey, Jacob, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate and Property Management. Thank you so much for using my website. I really pride myself on having an awesome website. Take ownership of our website. It's customized to you. It looks like you. It's based on the areas you're working in. So own it, right? Just because we provide it, it's your website. It's not my website. Brokerage has our own. That is your website, okay? With your brand, with GoDaddy, whatever it is. So thank you so much for using my website. Hey, I see you're looking at homes here in Surprise. I specialize in Surprise. I'm looking forward to help you find the right home. Give me a call when you can. Thanks. Decent first message, right? Call later on that afternoon. Hey, yada, yada. This is Josh with Breakthrough Real Estate again. Hey, again, thank you so much for using my website. I just said again twice. Sorry. Oh, silly. Hey, this is Josh Ezell with Breakthrough Real Estate. Hey, Paul, thank you so much again for using my website. I'm so excited to help you. I know I'm just going to keep trying because you might be on your lunch break or whatever. So don't hesitate. Give me a call when you're ready, okay? Thanks. Boom. Later on that night. Hey, Paul, it's Josh again. I know I sound like a broken record, but I'm so excited to help you, and it really means a lot that you use my website, and I see you're looking at homes in Surprise. So, look, I can't wait to help you. Don't hesitate to give me a call with any questions or anything, okay? Talk to you later. Click. Right? That's like the first day, right? Now, what's wrong with the second day? Hey, Paul, you know what? The market's really hot right now, so I know I'm pushing you, but I just want to give you the best shot at finding your perfect home. So the moment you see anything you like, don't hesitate to give me a call. Hey, Paul, it's Josh. Hey, I know it's been about a week. Thank you again for using my website. I'm here for you. If you notice, I'm a very persistent agent. I'm excited to help you, and I'm going to be your realtor, and I'm excited to help. Click. If you're almost assuming and being there and acknowledging that you're a persistent person, that goes in your favor, right? So I just gave like 5 or 6. I know they're kind of not the greatest, but they're just right off my head. Having these things available, right? So if you have spiels, right? In our database, I have probably a bunch of emails. I have a bunch of different types of scripts. We have, as you know, I'm Tom Ferry. Here's a whole book of scripts for anything and every call you could possibly want, right? Adapt them, practice them. One of the best things about these is knowing the questions to ask, right? So here's one. Let's see here. 4 types of buyers dialogues. Okay. So, for sale by owners, right? So questions. How many calls did you get last week on your house? Different things depending on the type of person you're calling to keep things on track. If you're door knocking, good questions. Buyer consultation questions. Tell me about yourselves. What are some reasons you're making the move? How long have you been looking? How's it going so far? Have you seen anything you really like? Have you narrowed your focus to a specific community? So many questions to ask to keep people on track. right?
Yeah.
And if you're focused on getting through at least a certain amount of questions, even if they say no, do you care? No, it's just part of the process, right? And sometimes you'll learn to not even acknowledge them sometimes. You know what? I'm not really looking right now. Oh, so when are you looking at being in your new home? Just breeze right over, you know? And you get that kind of confidence going on. So that's where knowing what to say is key, and practicing them. And once you find something that works, stick to it. Make that your spiel. People don't make a killing by doing something brand new every single time. You find what works and you stick with it, and then you do little variations of it while you're going through the process, right? Because you know that's the tried and true method.
Yeah.
And what works for me isn't going to work for you 100%. That's why you got to try and practice, and you're going to steal a little bit from them. You're going to like some of the stuff I say. You're going to like some of the stuff that Helen says. You're going to like some of the stuff that Daryl does, and you're going to mix it all together and come up with the perfect thing for you. You know what I mean? So, okay. So that final part then to the value is the practice part, right? You know what to say. You've practiced. Now you're good through 12 different phone calls. Not even a worry. Right? You have your thing. You have, okay, these people are 6 months out. We're going to send them this at this time. We're going to send them this at this time. This first week is this. Then they're going to go on this one. We're going to send them the buyer's advisory. So what are some different things that you could send them in the process? Knowing your average person's 3 months out. Okay? So you're going to be sending them a bunch of calls, but you're going to be sending them emails too. And emails, the only way to get value from the email is to truly give them things. Right? So I could think of, let's see. I can think of 4 great things right off the bat that if you space them out, that's a month's worth of stuff, right? So the first thing you're going to do on the first phone call is what? You're going to be setting them up with a portal, almost every single one, right? And you're going to tell them about it, and that's going to be a message, okay? And what are the benefits of the portal?
Up-to-date properties.
And it's directly from the MLS. Yep, exactly. The most accurate, up-to-date thing there is. Exactly. It's most regulated. Okay. Now, coming up in the next couple days, or it might be a week or so later, what's something that we mentioned that is a great tool for the buyers?
The lender.
That's one too. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That's on the list. So your people, your contacts. So you're going to put them in contact with the lender, right? And potentially have the lender send them stuff. You have all the people involved, right? Have you spoken to a lender? Let me give you a list. Do you know that there's going to be a home inspection involved? Here's a list of great home inspectors. There's escrow companies. We prefer this escrow company, but here are some of the other bigger ones. But this is why, this is our go-to person, whoever it might be, right? So you can give that information. And then you have, what's a packet that it's one of the best things that the buyers use? The buyer's advisory. Absolutely. Right? Send that and explain to them about all the links where if they use if they go online and actually click it, it'll take them right to whatever they're looking for.
The buyer advisory, that's in the MLS then?
It's in Zip Forms.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But if you go to AAR online, that's where the live link is. And they actually have an English version and a Spanish version right there that you can click on either version. Yeah, so you can print them off, have them handy. But I send people to there because it's updated and they're all live links. AAR, Arizona Association of Realtors, online. Yep. Okay. Now to go along with that, they're ultimately going to end in a purchase, right? Purchase contract. Send them a sample. Highlight some certain parts that you want them to know. If Arizona is very buyer friendly and there's certain outs that will make them comfortable, like the inspection period, the CCNRs, final walkthrough, the appraisal contingencies, all that good stuff, right? Yeah. Point it out, help them out. If they have any questions, because, being surprised right then and there, and then them finding some problem in the contract that they may or may not understand, when you're writing an offer, you don't want to address it then. You want to address it beforehand if possible, right? Area information. If you're, say you're the Vistancia specialist, keep all the Vistancia information handy. Verado, all the new communities. If you're the North Peoria specialist, how many new communities are going up off of Happy Valley and Lake Pleasant? Jiminy Christmas. Yeah. So keep handy on all that stuff.
Okay.
How many is that we have now? How many emails of value?
bunch, at least 3 so far. Portal, advisory, purchase contract,
lenders, title, inspectors, all that good fun. Yeah. Right. So there you go. There would be 5 or 6 messages just in and of itself. And then if you include your intro one, and then you're just checking in. And then if you have a monthly newsletter, something like that, all that good fun. Okay. Staying in contact. So practice, making those 6 calls. That's why most people don't. They think they're being a pain in the butt because they don't know what to say. But we just did 6 for 2 days. And you acknowledging being persistent is part of the process if you're a great agent.
Yeah.
I know I'm a pain in the butt, but that's what makes me a great agent. And that's why I get my clients the best deals on the best homes right off the bat, because we are the first people to see them. Mm-hmm. Turn it to your advantage. Yeah. Find your spiel. Yeah. Okay. So last but not least, you got consistency. Now, consistency kind of goes with the value and what are you going to do, right? So you can see how they're all kind of intertwined, but it's the complete package. So consistency. Right off the bat, is there ever a time you're going to give up on a lead, really?
No.
If there's bad information, great. Obviously it's not valid. Yeah. But what is the average life cycle of a purchaser in Phoenix?
4 years, 5 years.
5 years or so. So if they say, no, we're not ready to move, yeah, that might be today. It might be this year. It might be through next year, but that's not permanent by any stretch of the imagination. So the longer you can have your stuff out, the better, right? And that's where with Breakthrough, having the templates, right? The agents should go into the CRM and create their drip campaigns to take their clients through the year, right? And then we have our stuff for all of our agents, our owners, our leads, everything, taking them through the whole year. Have all your holidays already planned out. That way you're never missing an opportunity and you're out there picking and choosing those ones. So that way when you get to your computer in the morning, who was active yesterday? Pull up that list. Okay, great. You looked at this home, and you go through that. Oh, now it's been 300 days. Okay, so let's click the people who have been in our database for over a year, and let's send them a targeted message about, hey, it's been about a year. What, are you still looking? Do you have plans this year? There's a lot of different methods. So once you tackle the basics, then you start being creative and really start bringing out people. Hey, we haven't targeted the $1 million plus group in our lead database. Click that. Okay, let's get them on a campaign. Hit them where they're going, and then really targeting those. And the consistency is what allows you the creativity, right? I'm willing to bet that many agents, if it's been more than 6 months, okay, let's say you have a past client and it's been 6 months since they closed and you didn't check in. I'm willing to bet one of the main reasons you're not checking in is literally because you didn't check in and now you're too scared to. Get over it. Now the only thing to lose is that. And that because you weren't consistent, you're never going to be consistent.
Yeah.
That seems to, okay, this is a going out of business sale. That's what that is. I didn't follow up, so I'm never going to follow up. Well, I guess guess I should get a good job now, huh? That's not going to work. Bite the bullet and bite it today. Guess what? That bullet keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single day. Bite it today, get it done over with, guarantee. But guess what? They're probably not going to be mad at you. I've been given crap, but nobody's ever been mad. And I've heard so many different things. Like, hey, you check in, you're just saying hi, you don't mention anything. I've had another guy, he actually was like, hey, it's your long lost realtor. How's it going? And that was his opening because he just got out of the way. It's your long lost realtor. What better opening than that?
Yeah.
And he ended up converting several with that message. He called every single person in his database, and he admitted it had been years since he had called people.
Wow.
It's your long lost realtor. He lost a lot of sales in that meantime because he didn't follow up, but he guaranteed he didn't have anybody cussing him out, nothing like that. It was actually a really, really good thing. So consistency is key. So if your average buyer is 6 months out, can you create a logical journey for that 6 months based on emails and text messages, right? So every new lead gets called this many times the first week.
Yep.
no matter what. They're going to get these emails no matter what. The second week, they're going to get this call at this time and this email at this time. The third week, they're going to get these calls, this email, this calls, these emails. And then the fourth week, boom, 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 boom. And then they get put on your monthly plan or whatever it might be. But you have that plan for every single lead, every single time. And do you have to think about the messages? Can you just switch the names and the cities or whatever it is based on the emails of that journey? Absolutely. Does that make your life a heck of a lot easier? Yeah. And are you just calling, oh, hey, it's these people every morning, you have your follow-ups. And that is how you get the consistency. I wish I would have mentioned this before because I should have mentioned it like 9 times throughout this series. Follow-ups. Every CRM has follow-ups. I guarantee if we go into most agents, they're not going to have follow-up scheduled on every lead. We're not perfect. That's why there's CRMs. We don't have great memories. That's why there's follow-ups and flags. And if we do the hard things, that extra 5 seconds, I called them, boom, schedule the next follow-up. Okay, let's say 20 seconds, right? To schedule that next follow-up. Will you follow up with them? Probably. Yeah. If you follow that schedule and you wake up to your follow-ups every single morning, you will never let anybody fall through the cracks. Yeah. Nobody can keep track of 400 leads. Nobody can. Hey, I'm going to be looking in 6 months. We're going to be out March 15th. Yeah, you better, right? Are you going to remember like February, January 15th? Hey, you guys still planning on coming out 2 months? Yeah. You know, I just have that memorized. You know, like you've got to have those things planned. That's why you write all the notes down. Hey, the kid's name is Jenny. Her birthday's March 13th. Great. That's all there, right? And so when you're on the phone, you have all your notes there and you have your schedule. I mean, if I didn't follow that lady for 1,300 days straight every single month, I wouldn't have remembered. Yeah. But every month I was like, okay, next month on the 12th, boom. Okay, next month, oh, that's a Saturday. Okay, we'll go on that Monday. You know, every single month in and month out, boom, 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 boom. So you're only as strong as your organization and your CRM and your follow-ups. So whether it's there's so many out there, right? We have Real Geeks, we have Lion Desk. Between the two of them, they both have follow-ups. Yeah. And every single lead needs a follow-up. And what's great is that many of them even have recurring follow-ups. So if they're on your monthly plan, you just click it and it'll remind you every single month on that day to call those people. You'll never forget. But you also have to time block to make sure you're making calls every single day. Yeah. You know, and whatever that time is, that is your money time, right? Nobody can let that time go. You don't schedule, that is your appointment. You can't schedule another appointment because you just double booked. Yeah. Right? And we've used the analogy, and there's so many you can use, right? Let's say, let's use a sad one. You need a new heart. Are you going to miss that surgery? No. Not that you could. You probably would be there already. But you just inherited $50 million. But you have to be at that meeting by 10:30. Will you probably be there by 9:45 just to be on the safe side? Yeah. How important is it to you to have a career? How important is it to you to have the success you want? The numbers are all right there. If you have 400 leads, you should be able to get a certain amount of listings. And 8 is low. Legitimately, you should get 20. 5% is a great number. All right? And to have those systems is imperative. Every CRM is only as good as how well you use it. Every lead is only as good as your follow-up plan, and your conversion is only as good as how well you planned it. And so that is it. Take them on that journey. If it's the 90-day, 6-month, 12-month, or year plan, take them on that journey. And by being that great agent, you'll not only hit those goals, but you'll take it one step further. What about past clients? Are you going to follow up with them and create a system to never let those go? 80% of people say they would reuse their agent, but they didn't follow up. Yeah. Okay. Now that they're in your sphere and your database, what can you take them to? Now from that 5%, now they're going to turn into the referral base. So you're going to take them from a 5% conversion rate to a 10% conversion rate because now you're going to be their referral agent telling all their friends about you. Yeah. By putting each place, it grows exponentially. And that's what's so hard to fathom. If you don't have it in place, it'll never work. And you're going to be struggling for everything. But if you do those simple follow-up plans and make sure, hey, my past client, okay, they closed this day. They're going to get a thank you, a thank you, a thank you, and then a yearly follow-up, and then an anniversary. If you never let them go, your business will explode beyond anything you could possibly imagine. And it's just implementing those stupid, repeatable systems that, for some reason, we agents have such a hard time doing. How lame is that? It takes 3 hours. Why can't I do it? So that's the commitment this week, guys. Take that initiative. Take that time. Create your plan. If you know it's a 6-month journey, sit down for 3 hours and walk that journey through. What is my first email, second email, third email? What am I saying? Second week, third week, fourth week, first month, second month, third month. Walk them all the way through. And then practice, 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 and make sure you never let it go. And my challenge is to you this week, everybody who watches this, go through your CRM, put a follow-up for every single lead you have. And if possible, schedule it to be recurring. All right, guys, you guys are the best. Keep me updated on all of your sales, all your wins, everything this week. And yeah, like and follow us, please. Take care.